Darren Acosta. I'm here trying to get my CCNA. A few of my coworkers have actually gone through thinKtank before, and everyone pretty universally said it's a good course to take, it's a good service. I started doing IT relatively recently just because I've always had an interest in computers, and it's a good career field to go down. It's really secure. I actually have been to a thinKtank course before, and I really like the instructor, Scott. He's very knowledgeable, and I like his method of teaching where he still follows the curriculum but makes time to answer questions. Scott, being the face of thinKtank from a learner's perspective, is perfect.
Let's say that I have a router here, all right, and I am trying to reach a destination. And that destination is 3 hops away. Here's router 1. And I'm running OSPF, and all 3 of these routers are running OSPF. So this router is advertising network X to its peer. That router is then advertising network X to its peer. And this router decides to get to network X, send the packet there. This router says to get to network X, send the packet there. To get to network X, use my connected route. We measure the efficiency of reaching that destination based on a metric. We don't have to get into the specifics of how metrics are calculated in an OSPF. It's an inverse proportion of the bandwidth, 10 to the power of 8 divided by the link bandwidth in bits per second. In EIGRP, we use a composite metric that has 5 K values: bandwidth, delay, reliability, and load. And then we put it into a formula. But every routing protocol has a way of evaluating paths to determine the best path.
My name's Andrew Esposito. I'm actually transitioning back into the IT field after a long hiatus. I heard about thinKtank from family and friends. My brother-in-law and a couple of his friends had come through many years ago with Scott, and he came highly recommended. I chose the format more so because of the intense nature of it, full immersion. I can do book learning over a long period myself. I've done that before, but it's worthwhile to actually sit down and have somebody in class that can take a break, answer questions, expound upon ideas inside text. Scott's scope of the industry as a whole, starting out, his engineering background really gives you a firm base. When it's coming from an industry professional as opposed to a teacher, there's a certain depth of knowledge that you touch on that you wouldn't in any other source of learning. Actually having somebody to go through the labs with you and to be able to stop and go along, he administers the test at the end. That's, in hindsight, that's one of the greatest things going, because he's fully vested in your success by the end of the course.
Wireshark does something very nice for us. It creates something called a stream index for the datagrams that you capture. It's something that's not part of the TCP header, but it gets added to the Wireshark capture. We can see stream index 2 here. I can apply a filter based on that index, and this is the entire conversation, at least the part that I captured. If we look at this particular flow, we can see the 3-way handshake happening here. Let's open up the first one and take a look at what we're actually supposed to see here with regard to TCP.
My name is Joseph Snyder. I'm a senior systems engineer with Northwest Bank. I've taken a class through a different organization before, and it was poor. I won't mention who that was, but it was a poor experience. So I was looking for a different organization to come to for this. thinKtank actually did come recommended by 2 of my colleagues, Ali Raja and Brian Bigelow. They got their NPs here, and I think Ali has one of his higher certifications as well. He was an excellent teacher, and I'd love to get his detail in the NP course and the Meraki course, because the way he instructs, I think, is a good way for me to pick up on the material.